In today's episode, I'm covering 10 rules that every membership founder should live by so you can spend less time feeling overwhelmed by all the to-dos inside of your membership and more time focusing on what actually matters. Welcome to the $1 Million Memberships Podcast, where we help female entrepreneurs like yourself start, grow, and scale multiple 6- and 7-figure online memberships with simple, step-by-step strategies that actually work.
Your life is about to get so good.
Let's dive in. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of $1 Million Memberships Podcast. We are getting into end of December, and whether you are like going balls to the wall for the rest of the year, or maybe you are taking some time off, I wanted to bring an episode that just could kind of feel like an easy listening episode. I don't know about you, but I kind of have right now my bubble at the end of the year where I like to take time off, like with my members and my clients. Everyone knows that for the last 2 weeks of December, I'm just completely off. Except for this year, we are actually doing a vision board party during the actual holiday break time. But to me, that doesn't really seem like work. It's just like something I would be doing anyways. So I want to do it with our members instead of $1 Million Memberships Club. So that's different. But regardless, I feel like this like last chunk of the year, you either just want to like be in your bubble of creativity and like really planning in for the next year, or maybe you're just completely taking it off. But I wanted to bring an episode that was a little less X, Y, and Z strategy to do this, and this inside of your membership, and more of like an easy listening. Maybe you're on a road trip, you're going to see some family, maybe you're just having some cozy mimosa time at your house and you have your fuzzy socks on and you just need something like easy to listen to, but also at the same time really goes hand in hand with your goals for the new year, which is growing the most epic fucking membership of all time in your industry. And this episode fits very nicely into that. So get comfy for this one, sit back, and let's get into it. We are getting into the 10 rules that every membership founder should be living by. And we are starting off with number 1, which is member to member connection is your growth engine. Nothing is going to scale your membership faster than when your members are connecting to each other, because when your members connect to each other, and you might think like, why would that happen? Because that has nothing to do with new members coming in, but it's because you start to build a true community. You build a true belonging inside of your membership. And when that happens, you drastically increase your retention. And when that happens, not only are you keeping your members that you have, but you're bringing in new members because people are starting to hear it. Maybe people are sharing it with their friends, or they're sharing it on their stories, or they're sharing them being on one of your monthly calls inside of your membership. And it takes this snowball effect. But the thing is if you have that leaky bucket where people are coming in and they're leaving just as fast, you're never truly going to build that. And so you're never going to truly grow. So at the end of the day, it's all about retention and keeping members happy. But the core piece of that, like the seed of what's really going to do that, is when members connect to other members. Number 2 is more content does not equal more value. Your job is not to teach more, add more resources, more documents, more meditations, more. It's to guide faster. Your members don't necessarily want more information because that's just going to get people feeling really overwhelmed. And yes, new information is like shiny at first, but why they actually want that information is so they can move faster, so that they can get their result faster. And most people who have loads and loads of content and resources and all of the things don't actually go through all of the things because they just don't know where to start. What's more beneficial is that you know that content doesn't equal more value, but getting people from A to Z is what's actually important. So that's through checkpoints, momentum, having a really clear success path that your members can really follow. They always know their direction. Number 3 is to get narrow and stay narrow. Back in the day, and when I say in the day, I literally mean like before 2020. I feel like 2020 was such a pivotal point for the online space. And if you were in this industry before 2020, you know exactly what I mean. But before 2020, you could literally have a business membership and it go completely viral. You bank it. People are coming in left, right, and center. Everybody wants it. You could have a fitness membership. Same thing. Nowadays, there's so many options out there that it doesn't cut it anymore because it doesn't actually compute to people. When they see business membership or fitness membership, there's no urge to actually join that membership. Now we need to get very granular, very small of who we actually help. And this is going to be true for most of you, especially if you're not starting out with a massive following, a massively engaged following where you have millions of followers and everyone knows you are. Then you can kind of maybe get away with a more wide membership. But for the majority of you listening, starting narrow and staying narrow with a very specific component of what your membership actually helps people do is going to go further. Wide messages are just going to go right over people's head. There's no pull there. The more you can really speak to those problems that actually keep people up at night, like the things that people are actually Googling. So for instance, in the membership space, people aren't Googling how to start a business. People are Googling how to start a membership, right? A membership is still a business. It's in the big umbrella of a business, but it's narrow. So what is that for you? Number 4 is you want to make your members the main character here. What happens with so many membership founders is they start their membership, they get their first couple of people in there, and then it's just like eyes on growth mode and like getting more people in, more. How do I get to my first 100 members, 500 members? And we forget about the actual people who are already in there being like, hey, I'm here. I signed up. Like, I want this, but don't forget about me. And it's really important that you remember that your people are the reason you have your membership. So make your members the main character because this will drastically improve the culture. And we already know from point number 1 why culture is so important. Everything inside of your membership should really be designed to get your members to take action with whatever it is that they need to do inside of your membership, to connect with other members, to be engaging inside of your community, to feel really seen, right? Sharing them, showing spotlights, congratulating them personally, whether that's you or you have a community manager taking care of that every month. Really help them feel seen inside of your membership because that's going to help them and encourage them to want to stay inside of your membership. And also actually see results from your membership because when people feel bought in, people feel seen, they actually feel like they want to do something in that space. Number 5 is you want to build your membership always for sustainability and not just performance. So what this means is if you can't run your membership while you are living the life that you want to live, like remember, when we build a membership, we are not building this thing for a year. We are building this thing to hopefully last for a very long time, for this to be a legacy, for this to be something that we are known for and that people get results in and that people love and we have this community. And your life might be like all work right now because you want to get this up and off the ground. But 5 years from now, or even a year from now, how do you want your life to look? Can you go to Pilates every single morning at 9 a.m.? Can you go to yoga 3 times a week? Can you drop your kids off at school? If you build a membership and keep adding to it when you're in that growth phase because you want people to really see the benefit of it and you really want people to get everything they can out of it and think it's the best membership, but you're overexerting yourself, you're putting too much into it that you can't actually live the life that you want to live while having this membership, then that's going to be a problem because you are going to build yourself into a box that you won't be able to get out of because 5 years from now, your members expect something of you. You can't just completely, well, you can, but it's going to be very hard to do it. Change your entire membership at the 5-year point. You want to make sure that you are building something that is sustainable and that it's not just a performance, that it's not just something that you're showing people, hey, look at me. I can get on 5 calls a month with you and I can answer every single message in the community and I can do this, this, and this, and this. And that actually comes with your membership. You get complete full access to me 24/7. Like you can't do that just because you really want people to see the value in the beginning. So always build for sustainability and not performance. Number 6 is knowing that retention is the real revenue driver inside of your membership. That means that when you are looking at where your focus needs to actually be inside of your membership, you really need to make sure that retention is one of those key performance indicators that you are looking at all the time. If you listen to last week's episode, you know that we talked about the statistics when it comes to retention and that 70% of your overall revenue actually comes from the members that stay with you and that renew month after month. Only 30% really on average is coming from new sales coming in all the time. So to really make sure that your members that you have are happy and that you are keeping them happy is huge. Number 7 is as you are growing your membership, it is so important that you are buying back your time every chance you get. This could mean adding new systems in anywhere that you can, new automations in anywhere that you can, creating templates for your team or having your team create templates so that you don't have to do things from scratch all the time. It also means looking at what are you actually doing inside of your business. And if it doesn't fall into creating coaching, which is speaking inside of your membership, showing up inside of your membership, then you want to be getting these things off of your plate. So what are some maybe admin things that you are doing right now that you don't need to be doing? That's what I mean when I say buying back your time, hiring someone to come in and take those things off of your plate. Even if you are hiring from something like Upwork or Fiverr for now, where you can find people across the world who are a lot cheaper than maybe where you live. Even if you have to do that in the beginning, buy back your time any chance that you can get. Maybe this is something that you really do a checkpoint on every single quarter where you look at, okay, and you reevaluate, you re-audit, what am I doing? What do I not need to be doing? What can I get off of my plate? This is going to allow you to really, again, put your focus where it actually matters inside of your membership. And it's also going to completely clear up your energy so that you're not constantly depleted, overworked, and then bringing that energy into your membership. You want to really be able to be the visionary of this and be able to be the seer of, okay, this needs to go into place. This is what we're working towards, and really be able to show up to your membership with that energy. And when you are buying back your time, you're making sure that you're in the right headspace, that you have more bandwidth to actually make the right decisions for your membership. And you're not just making decisions out of nowhere, out of left field because you're tired or you don't want to do something anymore. You're able to actually make clear and strategic decisions to grow your membership. Not to mention, a lot of you who have memberships don't want to be glued to your computer 24/7. And that is definitely me as well. And so when you are buying back your time, you're really able to make sure that you are running your membership properly, but you're also living your life and living this dream life that you want alongside having this amazing, successful membership. I mean, that's the dream, is it not? Number 8 is to take feedback seriously, but only act in alignment. As a membership founder, you are always going to have members who want more, who aren't completely satisfied, who want more access to you, more support from you, more of you, or more of X, Y, and Z, or whatever it might be. And that is just bound to happen because when you are working with memberships, it's a numbers thing. You're working with many, many people, many different types of people. And so there's bound to be a couple people that you're going to come across every now and then who are not going to be super happy, who are not going to be completely satisfied. And it's always important to really hear those members out, still take their feedback, listen, evaluate. Maybe is there something that they're spot on, or maybe there is something that they're saying that you've already noticed, or you've heard other members say, or you've had other members say to you or your team. But here's what's really, really important is it's really important not to completely change your membership model to just appease this one unhappy person. You need to really mark everything against your membership model. What are your boundaries? Is what they're saying actually in alignment, or is it kind of just far field for what your membership actually is? Make sure that you're taking feedback and you're always making it a safe place for members to give feedback. However, you're only acting on feedback that is in alignment with your membership. And so it's really important to know that and what that is for your membership. For example, if someone messages you and they say, just wanted you to answer my questions more in the community, but you have a $90 membership where the deliverable is not actually you being in the membership personally answering every single person's question. It's feedback. That's something to hear. That's something that you want to give them a space to say. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go into your membership and start replying to every single person's comment because one person requested more support from you. Number 9 is visibility is literally oxygen to your membership. You can't rely on your membership to grow only on the times that you feel like posting because you're a human and you have a capacity, you have a bandwidth. However, if you do want your membership to completely take off and grow and be this successful machine in this super successful community and legacy, then You need to think about how are you going to get more visible without you actually physically doing the visibility. Having really predictable visibility systems is absolutely key to any membership founder. So this is things like having like a long form content platform, like something like a podcast or a YouTube channel where the content kind of lives on. It doesn't just like disappear after 24 hours or whatever, like a lot of shorter social media. Or having really great nurture funnels, something that when you are posting on social media, that people can actually come into your world and then be nurtured by you for months and months in the future, just from that one social media post. Same thing with having automated sales funnels, something where people come into your world and they're nurtured and then they're sold into your membership without you actually having to do any of the work or execution. Really important that as a membership founder, you understand that visibility is huge and you can have the best membership in the world. But also, here's the thing, if you are just growing your membership, on average, it takes about 6 to 18 months to get your first 100 members. That is obviously a really big gap, but it's because it depends on your personal visibility strategy. And if you are somebody who isn't putting the time and effort into visibility, then you could have the best membership in the world, but no one's going to see it. It's going to be the slowest growing membership, at which point, if that's the case, you're more likely to give up on your membership because it's just not producing what you need it to produce for you to actually live. So having a really strong visibility strategy, really making sure that, if your membership isn't where you want it to be right now, that visibility is your membership's literal oxygen. It needs visibility to grow. And so that needs to be a priority for you. Number 10 is that memberships compound. So stay the course. If you are doing all of these other things correctly, you're really focusing on your retention and everything that goes into making your membership a really well-oiled machine. And month after month, your culture is going to deepen. More people are going to start hearing about your membership. Your retention is immaculate. People are telling their friends, they're wanting to stay inside of your membership. And the more that people are staying and your visibility is doing its thing and more people are coming in at the same time, your membership is going to compound. It's going to snowball. It stacks. This is what I always want to say to people is, especially if you are coming from like the one-on-one or the private space where, it's almost like a instant gratification type of situation where maybe you get a private client and they pay you $2,500 right then and there. And it's like, oh, this is amazing. I only need X many clients to have $10,000 months. But then when you go to the membership world and say you have a lower ticket membership, you don't have that instant gratification. It's such a long game. But the difference is with one-on-one, it's amazing because you don't need as many people. You get those people in right away, but then you have a lot of work to execute with that client. That's like just the beginning. You really now have a ton of work to do, and then they're done their container with you. Whereas with memberships, it's a slower build, but your output doesn't really change no matter what. And you can stack that revenue so much more with a membership rather than trying to get one-on-one or higher ticket people where there is a cap. Especially if you do come from the one-on-one space, just know memberships compound, stay the course because you will be so freaking happy that you did. You will be so happy that you put the time and energy into something that felt like it wasn't giving you the momentum that it needed to in the first year or first 2 years, but you stuck it out anyway. And now you get to reap the benefits of this insanely profitable machine that pays you every single month, that you only have to do X amount of work in every single week, and it still runs amazingly. People still get the same results. And you build this community, you build this place where people can truly grow and thrive in and can change their life. So stay consistent with it. Stay consistent with the things that you need to do in order to grow your membership, because memberships truly, it can be such a slow burn and then it just turns into this wildfire. That is it for this episode. I hope you guys have the best holidays, and I will see you back on the Monday after Christmas for our Q&A episode. If you are taking some time over the holidays to really get your ducks in a row for 2026 and you really want to go into 2026 with the best strategy and really make sure that this is a completely different year, a transformational year, the year where your membership really takes off, I do have some free resources inside of the show notes, one of them being my 35-minute on-demand masterclass, which teaches you how to build a multiple 6 and 7-figure membership. I list some of my favorite sales and growth strategies in that masterclass. It is so bomb. I've had such great feedback on that masterclass, and I highly recommend, if you haven't listened to it, you give it a listen and then jot in some time for you to execute it in 2026, because it will completely change your sales and getting people inside of your memberships so you can actually continue to grow it consistently every month from here on out. Again, that link is in the show notes if you want to grab that free training. And other than that, I hope you have the best holidays, and I will see you right back here on Monday after Christmas for a Q&A. Bye.